sat in the rain. That's the joys of owning a bike, I suppose. Now, to be fair, once I'm in it, I don't really notice it until I stop. And I'm soaked through. When I'm actually on the bike, it doesn't bother me. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but for me, I don't really notice it when I'm on the bike. And I've got my backpack lights on because I'm cold as beans and people can see me, because that's always an excuse for people. I didn't see you. You weren't looking. Generally, I don't like to hang about. It's got me in almost in trouble a couple of times. But I also don't like cars coming up behind me. And that was probably a bit of an anxiety thing from being knocked off the bike, but generally, I like to be going forward and past everything. Clearly, when it's safe to do so. Been a couple of times when it hasn't been safe to do so, and I learned my lesson. So you need to pick your moments, really. Every day's a school day, always learning. And I've learned that this bike, actually, if you pick the right gear, you can get up and get going pretty quickly. I suppose that's like that with all bikes, unless you ride a big tourer. I'm sure they're a bit slower, but this is a sports naked 650cc inline 4, and you have to rev the nuts out of it to get the full enjoyment, because the power's right at the top. Whereas if you've got good gear selection, this will get up and go. I was quite happy bidding along in town as well. So if you're ever in the market for a fun small bike, just give her a good stare so she knows I'm here. For commuting and basically thrashing around and having a load of fun on it. Look at this here, look. Oh, I'll just go with you. Prime example of an absolute dick. So these are going slow, so I'm going to go past. I'm just going to put it on. I've never let my wife see me do this. She's seen me do it once and she got a proper sad on. I'm sure, like, car drivers hate that. Well, like I said, I like to get moving. I like to go forwards. I don't like to be sat in traffic on a bike. It feels so vulnerable. And I think, anyway, it's got to be defensive and offensive all at the same time. I think it's a bit of a balance, and a fine balance really when you're on a bike. You're on a machine that can do 140 miles an hour. And it's small. And there's nothing between me and whatever, you know, if God forbid I ever have a big accident, there's nothing in between me and that. And that brings me on to kit, really. I mean, I spent quite a lot of money on clothing and equipment to make that a lot safer. My parents bought me an airbag vest, and that works brilliantly in the winter over big clothes. And I come off of that, and it really did. It saved a lot of pain, to be fair. Now I'm wearing an RST jacket that has an inbuilt airbag. I've got RST leather trousers with knee sliders on, and I wear boots which come up and support the ankle and the shin. I've got an Atlas 4.0 street helmet, which is obviously the newest safety regulations. I wear Riker gloves, leather ones with knuckle protection, And all of that is sort of coupled together with, look at this prick here, what are you doing? That's coupled together with really good sort of under layers, you know, base layers. So, you know, I think I take mitigation as best as I can to keep myself safe. Another thing with riding a bike, you need to be looking so far ahead. Everything that's happening close to you really is in your peripheral. Because I have to concentrate. But you know, it's all about managing risk really, and your balance between having fun and pushing the boundaries on risk too much. Getting on a bike, crossing the road, getting on a bus, getting in your car, going to work, coming home from work, getting up in the morning, putting the kettle on, everything is a risk. And as humans, we're able to manage that risk to a point that's, you know, it's pretty acceptable. These modern bikes today, I mean, I remember knowing bikes that didn't have any sort of ABS, traction control, any rider modes. This doesn't have rider modes. It has traction control and ABS, but it doesn't have rider modes. It does have quick shift on the way up. It doesn't have a blipper on the way down. So it's a fairly simple bike for a modern age bike, but it's absolutely fantastic for what it is. So, you know, as human beings, we have managed to mitigate the risk. That guy gave me the old twisty wrist, but I was too busy talking to you lot. So, if anybody's interested or wants to get a bike, especially if you're going through a midlife crisis, get yourself one. Just be aware that, you know, you're going to be taking risks. And it depends how much you want to mitigate those risks to how big a risk you take. I mean, I'm a believer in finding where the edge of your talent is and seeing where the risk lies to the point where, you know, it becomes unfun. And I think, me personally, that's how you grow, that's how you become better at something. You just need to be aware that this is a public road, and not everybody is biker friendly. Not everybody looks out for bikes. Not everybody cares that you're on a bike, and quite frankly, you need to do all that for them, and you are going to annoy people. Right now, there's a red light out there. I'm on a bike. I'm not going to sit up behind all this traffic. I'm going to make my way to the front. This brick here, look. All the way through, not 1 foot down there, and we're green. That's good timing. You know, if I was in a car, I would have had to sat and waited. Some people turning left, some people turning right, differing at the lights. But what we managed to do there was just creep forward, nice and controlled, feet didn't go down. And luck would have it that the light was turning green just as we got to the front. And that's the joy of having a bike. I mean, I suffer from mental health. I'm not crazy. I've got depression. It's just a combination of things. But ever since I've had this bike, when I'm on it, I don't feel depressed. It's too exciting to feel depressed. You're in the moment. You're concentrating on what you're doing. You're not worried about anything else in your life. And I understand why people go on bikes now, and I never used to. And I think you've got to be, I think you've just got to accept the fact that if you come off at speed, you're going to hurt yourself, if not kill yourself. And I think that's just an acceptance thing. And I think as soon as you accept that, you become a better rider, because you stop worrying about the what ifs and just concentrate on the moment and what's happening right now. And I actually think that makes you a safer rider as well. We all make mistakes, we're all human. We all make mistakes, whether you're in a car, driving a lorry, riding a bike, it's all the same. Push bike riders, everything. We're all human, we all make mistakes. It just depends how big of a mistake you make. Showing me his brake lights because he's an absolute tool. Didn't like the sound of the bike coming up behind him. That's all that is. So my eyes right now are 1, 2, 3 cars ahead of this car in front of me. I need to be aware of him because, well, whoever's driving that, because they've already shown me their brake lights when they're coming down the road. And they associate bikes with hooliganism or whatever it is. Just so that, misunderstand, the bike's loud and the bike lights to rev. It's not a V-twin where we're bumping along with loads of torque. All the torque and everything's so high up, so I have to have that gear on this inline four to get itself up there. Right, if this is red, we'll creep up on here as well. I'll have a look over my shoulder. Wait for this one to go, clearly. I've learned to take my time. I've been in this situation before and almost got smashed by a van. If you check out my other videos, you'll see it. So we just creep to the front here, nice RS6. I didn't even know that car was nice. And off we go. No harm in that. Give them an indicator, let them know I'm going this way. Give these plenty of room as we come around. You know, it's good to be dominant, but it's also good to be defensive. Here we are, being defensive. We're just giving ourselves a bit of room here. If one of these decides they want to turn around because they don't want to wait for it, then we're in a good position to do so. I'm quite happy putting on behind these at the minute. It's not going to gain me anything risking going past these. Like I said, every day is school day, lesson learns, and then you put that into practice. It's not the end of the world. We'll go left here because I'm not following all these. Didn't see me. Ooh, hello, Mr. Lorry driver. Wow, I just cut those corners right off. The other thing about having a bike is you can be a bit patient at junctions because you've got the power to go. You've got so much acceleration. I'll prove it here. Steady, steady, steady.